friend tell me a joke once. She asked, "How do you give a baby a Chinese name?" The answer, you take a couple of pots and you clang them together. Ching, chang, chong. Voila, you've got a Chinese name. Well, since you're an active learner of Mandarin, I'm sure you appreciate how utterly, ridiculously shallow that interpretation of Chinese is. In fact, the sounds of Mandarin are quite varied and complex. To help you really master Mandarin pronunciation, especially the initials, I want to spend a minute talking about the general anatomy of your mouth. I'll be honest with you, when I first started learning Pinyin, I couldn't care less about alveolo-palatal, fricative, affricate, or whatever sounds. I just copied the locals, and somehow everything fell into place. I got lucky. Looking back, I think this stuff is actually quite important and helpful, which is why I want to spend a few minutes talking about it. The finals in Chinese are learned in groups. Usually they're grouped by the position of the tongue with respect to other parts of your mouth, like your teeth and your lips, and that determines where the sound is coming from. Still with me? Okay, as we learn the Mandarin initials, we will encounter several concepts. The first is understanding your tongue anatomy. For our intents and purposes, imagine your tongue consisting of 3 areas. There's the tip, the surface, and the root. Depending on which area of your tongue you use, you will create different sounds. Now let's talk about your oral cavity, which is your mouth area. Again, this lesson is very simplified, so nothing is too technical. But you need to envision the inside of your mouth as having a front, which is right up against the back of your teeth, a middle, which is right at your alveolar ridge, and a back, which is the soft palate area. Real quick, let's talk about the alveolar ridge. Put your tongue in the front position, right up against the back of your teeth. Now, slide your tongue back along the roof of your mouth, and you should feel a hump right behind your front teeth. That's your alveolar ridge. So now you know there are 3 general parts of your tongue: tip, surface, and root. And there are 3 general parts of your mouth: the front, the ridge, and the soft palate. Different combinations of these areas will create different sounds. For example, the sound D is created by touching tongue tip to alveolar ridge. The sound G is created by touching tongue root to soft palate. The sound S is created by touching tongue tip to front of mouth. And the sound Qi is created by touching tongue surface to alveolar ridge. So that's why the anatomy and positions are so important, because only by understanding this will you be able to make the correct pronunciations. I promise in the following lessons we will never use overly complicated terms, but I will say stuff like tongue tip front, and you should be able to envision it and understand that this form sounds like S and S.